So you make it into the SAS,
Yeah.
and from there, probably maybe the next big thing you do is you're sent to Northern Ireland. Is that right?
Yeah, I mean, I did my tour as a troop commander in the SAS, and at that time, our operational role was Northern Ireland.
For people that don't remember, what was that like back then? What did it feel like?
Northern Ireland?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, when I did my SAS tour, I think it was my 5th or 6th tour. So I'd already been to Northern Ireland 4 or 5 times, I can't remember exactly how many, with the Scots Guards. So Northern Ireland was not foreign territory at all. So I'd already operated in Northern Ireland, sometimes not in uniform, sometimes covertly, hiding in the bushes, pretending that we're bush. So doing it with the SAS was not that different. It was a level up in terms of the way in which everything was done and the level of intelligence we were operating with and all of that kind of thing. But it wasn't totally foreign territory, not at all.
And your job is to spy on the IRA at that point and try to predict violence.
Yeah, I mean,
stop
what
violence.
we would really like to do is shoot them. Because actually we weren't the intelligence gathering arm anyway, although we did do some of that. We were meant to be the executive force, so either shoot them or arrest them.
Okay.
Preferably with their weapons on them, so that they are sort of guilty, red-handed, so to speak.
Okay.
And that was the whole sort of game, that was the intelligence game, trying to catch them when they had their weapons.
Because that's the problem with urban warfare. You can't tell the difference between a civilian and a soldier.
No, and also the guy can say, unless you've got something on him, he can say, well, what's wrong? What's the matter? Whereas if he's carrying a weapon, then obviously something is the matter.
What do you remember most from those days?
Northern Ireland always depressed me. I mean, the first time I went there with the Scots Guards, I wasn't even 21. I was 20. And, old Etonian 20-year-old with 30 Glaswegians under my command in Northern Ireland. What could possibly go wrong? But it just depressed me that this whole, it was an awful situation, It was just a horrible business.
Was it a religious war or an economic war?
Sort of colonial more than anything, I think. The religion was obviously a factor, but it wasn't really about the religion. It was about who's in charge,
And you started learning about terrorists and that word and that term.
Yeah.
What does that mean? Because that's the first quote unquote terrorist you saw.
Yeah, well, that was the thing. So, for example, Lurgan, which is where I was, the first tour I did with the Scots Guards, 1973. And it absolutely reminded me of my hometown Newbury in Berkshire. Similar size, nice high street, W.H. Smiths, people going about their businesses and their, life. And then suddenly, bang, bombs going off and people being killed. And it just seemed very close to home. It felt like, this is happening at home.
And some of that was happening in England as well, right?
Well, it started to.
Right.
At that time, it hadn't really started, I don't think. But later on, yeah, bombs in London and so on.